Alright, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this Tuesday evening, August 20th, 2019. It was a glorious day today. Started out kind of rainy and gloomy, and then got nice and sunny, and actually got a little warm tonight. But I got a nice window unit in my living room, and I turned on some AC, and it was glorious. So the little guy's in bed. It is currently not quite 9:30, and I got a treat in the emails today, and I thought I would share it with you guys. Mr. Richard Woolcock, otherwise known as Zadmar, sent me a goodie. Full disclosure, he sent this to me for free, not asking for a review. I think he knows I'm a huge fan of his work, and I really like the things he does, and so I just wanted to throw out a review. If you're a fan of Savage Worlds, or the Suede edition of Savage Worlds, which is the current version, the Savage Worlds Adventure Engine, I highly recommend you check this out if you're running a good fantasy. You could even kind of use this in a sci-fi game for like melee weapons or whatever. I mean, you could add it to anything, to be honest. Eldritch weapons. This is just downright sexy, guys. This is super cool. I'm a big fan of Savage Worlds. I think everybody knows that. I printed my PDF copy of Suede for my own personal perusal to read, because I don't like reading electronic. I printed it and had it spiral bound, so I'm waiting for the hard copy. As soon as it's available, I will buy it. I believe the Kickstarter stuff is shipping to backers even as I speak, or it's about to, one of the two. So anyway, I thought it was an opportune time to go over Eldritch weapons. I got it yesterday in my email. Sorry, had to get a little parched. I just perused it and gave it a quick read through, and man, I really like what I'm reading. But as always, let's get some housekeeping out of the way first and foremost. Please like and subscribe, tell your friends. I think we're up to like 530 something subscribers, so that's all thanks to you guys. Thank you. There, as the old saying goes, there is no me without you. So thank you everyone who's liked and subscribed, and those who donate to the channel, thank you so much. I'm not a fan of Patreon's policies, so I've had a number of emails asking why I don't do Patreon, and I've done a couple videos on it before. I've spoke to it in the past. Plus, it ties up your money. It ties up your money on your end, ties it up on my end, and on top of that, they take a percentage when they download it to your account. And I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, if you're donating $10 to me, I should get the full $10, and you should know that the full $10 is going to me. Unfortunately, that's not how Patreon works. And while a lot of people use it, good for them, and I know it's probably hurting my channel, but you know, hey, if you want to donate, you can do PayPal, Pay Me. There's a link on my YouTube page, as well as you can, if you're in the States here, you can use ZellyPay.com. It's part of your, most likely it's part of your mobile banking app. Just go in there and tool around, and I'm sure you'll find it. But you can send donations to the channel. Please be aware that anything you send goes back into the channel. It's not like I'm saving up for a trip to the Bahamas or anything. I have a great job. I just started it about 3 months ago, and things are going well. So yeah, any money I get that I make off of this goes right back into the channel. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Richard, for sending me this copy. It's always a pleasure to preview the stuff that you make. It's wonderful. So guys, with all that housekeeping out of the way, let's get into Eldritch weapons, but for the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition. Again, we'll go through this. There's a slight delay, so I'm going to try to go slow when I flip pages, because YouTube does a delay. It's just the way it works. So Eldritch weapons, credits Richard Zadmar Woolcock, proofreading by Matthew Helsted and Jane Jetmar, cover and interior pages by Lord Zensi Works, interior artwork by Joe Calkins and Rick Hershey. This is version 3. I guess the first one came out in 2016. I was not aware of it. I didn't know back then that they were doing stuff like this. I knew there was a Savage Worlds website. I can't remember what it is. It was a shark or something. Great White, I think is what it was called. And it was a repository, and it's still up. And there's a ton of free stuff up there, and there's different world settings and stuff. So a quick shout out to those guys. Just do a Google search. You'll find it. I think it's called Great White Games, or Great Great White. Anyway, just do a Google search for Savage Worlds, and it's one of the ones that'll pop up. And of course, this is copyright from 2016, which was their, I guess, version 1 up until 2019 this year. So this is super cool. Permission to print it for yourself. I'm probably not going to print this just because I don't need to. It's a short PDF and it's easy to go through. So basically what you got is you got item creation rules for evil weapons. Or borderline weapons, because some of the traits and things that they can get aren't necessarily evil, but they are somewhat selfish and or possibly diabolical. Diabolical is not always evil. It's just self-serving or chaotic at best. So you could totally use this for your D&D game or your Pathfinder game if you just wanted like traits for a weapon. Or to make a possessed weapon or something like that. It would totally work for other games. You could use it for sci-fi weapons as well. There's no reason you couldn't. But it's real simple. You deal a couple cards, and you go off of each one of these: the boon, the geas, the nature, the legend, and the destiny of the weapon. And depending on the card rank of what you drew, that's what you go. And then you reference those sections, you cross-reference them. So if you drew a 6 under nature, you'd go to domineering. So you'd go to domineering, that page in the book, and you'd look up and see what domineering says. So what we've got here is some super cool rules that this is not rocket science, but it's so well laid out and so well put together. And it's so easy to use that you can really make some cool stuff. And they do give 2 or 3 examples in the very last page of some items that they've created. And we'll look at those in a second. Sorry guys, I just ate some popcorn. It's all in my teeth and it's driving me nuts. So anyway, you have the vessel, what it is, the creation, it tells you how to go about it, and then the destruction, of course. Say you have a certain magical ring that was created in the fires of a volcano. The only way to destroy it would be to thus throw it back to a volcano, or quite possibly even this same exact volcano. So it gives you some rules there. I'm not going to go into great detail on this because it's a short PDF, and I want you to buy it. For Jesus Christ, guys, it's $1 on the Drive-Thru RPG. So kick Zadmar, $1 won't even buy you a cup of coffee anymore. So help the brother out. I'm a big fan of this, and I say it all the time on these self-published things. This is a guy working out of his house. He has a day job, and he still cranks out this super awesome stuff that he works in conjunction with a few other people, not many, and he does a great job. His work is solid. The layout is phenomenal. The PDF is really well done. And it's just nice. It's all Creative Commons art, I believe, or he's gotten permission to use this art. But look, there's a nice fallen angel, possibly. So the art is very reminiscent of it. It really fits the theme. I didn't see any pieces of art that I was like, ugh, that sucks. But yeah, it's only a couple pages long. It's $1. Go check it out. It's totally worth it. Especially if you're a GM running a Savage Worlds fantasy game. I would totally use this if I was running Shintar, because Shintar is a high fantasy, high magic world. So I would love to put some of these things in there and give them to the bad guys, and then let the players find them and then figure out what they're going to do with it. I hope he does one for good items, or non-evil items. That would be super cool. And I mean, the groundwork's pretty much done. He just changes, the anacronyms and the nouns and stuff, and now you've got a good weapon. So this is just super cool. So you got your boons, you got your geas, and you got your nature, your legend, and your destiny, and then your temptation and your influence. Then it goes into some examples, and so we're looking at an 8-page PDF for $1, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get 7 pre-made weapons on here, and I read through them, and they're pretty freaking awesome. So I can't say enough good things about this. I think it's really cool. I think Richard put a lot of hard work into this, and even though you say, oh, it's only 8 pages, coming up with these rules and the formatting and the concept and putting it all together is just a spark of creativity that I don't have. So I appreciate it when we get items like this that can help us run our games. As a game master, I find these kind of things extremely useful. And even if I never ever use this, A, it's $1. B, I'm supporting the hobby. And C, I have it in case I need it. These games that we run, of course, the creativity comes out of our head, but they're driven by the players. If your player comes up with a background where he had a cursed weapon or something, or it was in his tribe or his family or his history, you don't have to ask him to reinvent the wheel or ask him to even come up with it. You can come up with it. You've got the rules right here to make your cursed weapon or item, ring, it could be whatever, a necklace, an earring, a cloak, pair of shoes, whatever. I mean, you can make your magic items. So this is basically a how-to guide on how to make evil magic items, which, I mean, it revolves mostly around weapons, but it doesn't have to be. As you can see, there's a ring there. So it's just super neat. I mean, we're talking 8 pages for $1. It's even got some neat art. I didn't see. Let's go in here and look at the PDF and see if we can turn layers off. Oh yeah, you can. So we can turn off the artwork and the layers, and you can see here. So if you've got an inkjet printer and you want to kind of save a little bit of toner, you can totally do that by turning the layers on and off. So that's awesome. I use Foxit, so this little icon right here is pretty universal, means layers, and you just go in here and you toggle what you want, So super awesome, cool that you can do that. And of course, like I said, it doesn't get any simple. This, deal out a couple cards. I think it's 5 cards. If you draw a Joker, you get to draw it twice. So you draw out a card for the boon, and then whatever it is. So say we get an ace, it's a warping weapon. The Gias is, say we draw a 5, is a harvester. And you go on down the line. And then if you draw a Joker, you get to draw 2 cards and choose both or combine them. And it gives you the basic rules on how to do it. But we're talking 8-page full color PDF. It's just awesome, guys. I can't babble on about it enough. Richard, his creativity is awesome. I'm hoping to get my gaming group to try some Savage Worlds. I'm going to probably run Shintar because that's my favorite setting. And I'm going to use his Goblin cards because I just think they're phenomenal. And then, we'll go from there. Worst case scenario, they may want to play Rifts. But I can use his sci-fi deck for Rifts. So either way, I'm good to go. So if you don't have those two, go back in the archive, check out my video reviews, watch those, give them a thumbs up, if you haven't seen them already, and check them out. But that's it, man. That's just Eldritch Weapons. I wanted to give Richard a quick shout out because he was kind enough to send it to me. And the cool part is, and much respect and love to you, Richard, because he didn't even send an email saying, hey, I'm going to send you something. He didn't even send me a message on MeWe. We're friends on MeWe. If you don't know what MeWe is, check it out. There's a link on my YouTube page. There'll be a link in the bottom of the doobly-doo here as well. But he didn't even send me a message. If he did, I didn't see it. But he just sent this to me because he knows I'm a fan of his product. I like the work that he does. So guys, it's going on what? We're going on almost 14 minutes here. I can babble on about this, but there's really not a whole lot to talk about. This is something cool. It's $1. Check it out. I think you'll enjoy it, especially if you're a GM. Or if you're a player looking for a cool background, I could see where you could use this to help make your background, which would be cool. Maybe there's a demonic or eldritch weapon in your background that's caused you to go adventuring, and maybe you're seeking this weapon or something like that. So a lot of cool potentials there, a lot of different things to do. I think it's super cool. And like I said, anybody who takes the time to produce something and put it out there for other people to critique and peruse, that's an amazing person, because it takes a lot of hard work to do this stuff. And Richard seems to be able to crank this stuff out like there's no tomorrow. So super cool, super awesome for him. I have reviewed a number of his other products, so go back in the archives and check them out. But as always, peace, love, and happiness. Subscribe, and remember, Mr. Mean says, please be nice.